Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Trade with OC. It is fantastic to see you have guys in here. I had the weirdest thing happening to me. I don't know why. It just blocked the streaming from going through. Nonetheless, good to know that I just had needed to reboot the thing and play it out. So we are good to go. 1 second. Let me ask Alexa to turn on the light. All right, much better. Seems like we're less like with the spotting here. Still looking fantastic. All right, guys, thank you so much for jumping in here. Let me get started with you guys because you guys are fantastic, are phenomenal, and you are the most important part of this segment. So let me get started with you guys, and we have. Am I already here? Let me see. Can I change this? I think so. So KTGT, what's up, brother? Thank you so much. Username OC is the king. Thank you, my friend, and I love OC. I love you too, KTGT. Thank you so much. Rip chat. What's up, guys? Alexander G, holy balls, Alexander G in the house. What's up, Alexander? Thank you so much for spending your time here in the channel. Who else we got in here? KTGT, double shout out. So let's get it started, guys, because we have had a couple of a mix out things in here, right, since yesterday. So let's go and take a look at what we talked about yesterday. What was just the step-by-step setup that we did. And we're also going to be looking at what is the result, because we have some very fantastic gains today. So let's get it and let's go to the charts. All right, so as you can see right here, there is my twin. Oh, right here. This guy. So we got him right there. Remember what we were looking for? Remember we were translating from the old segment to the new segment, what was happening. Also, we had an order block in here. The order block was disappearing. We already were in profits in here. And finally, let me just advance in here. We move our stop to entry, right? We regenerated our lines. And there we go. This is the most important part, this line in here. So we were expecting to have that bounce lower than there. All right, so there we go. And finally, that's our take target, right? Number one, and then a possible flip of that ribbon. Are we going to get a Lambo candle? Oh, see, hopefully, man. Hopefully. I don't know. Bitcoin honestly looking very good. We'll go into Bitcoin. Hopefully we do. Next meeting is gonna be at the Lambo dealership, not at the bar. And let's start calling out the Lambos. Hopefully we can do it. All right. So let's take a look at how that play out. This is XLM. There we go, Stellar. And guess where we hit right there? Look at that, man. I mean, right to the spot. There we go. Just touch it and retrace. Oh no, don't move that one. And let's see, can I change this? No, I can't for some reason. So let's do it this way. All right, perfect. Target hit, bouncing off the trend line. Much better. There we go. And then off we go. What happened in here? Well, did I take the long? No, of course I didn't. For what? I have no idea. Still run out as we were expecting. So, well, hopefully you did took that trade. And we are getting very close both to a possible breakout continuation, or at least a little flag out, right? I'm going to be looking for a possible short in here. We're maxing out in here, right? But also, let's see what happened last time we maxed out. We flag out, we flag out, we flag out, and we are flagging out. So looking for that short, it's just looking for it, not doesn't mean taking it, right? Looking for a possible short in there might be a little dangerous. Still, I'm going to look for that short. Again, it doesn't mean I'm going to take it, but also I'm going to look for that further continuation. What do I want to see? Flag out for continuation. What am I going to be jumping back down as I come back down and start breaking some previous highs? So I first need to break out. I'm going to be looking for that retest. I'm going to be seeing and expecting maybe that flip of the ribbon. And once it happens, well, off we go. So far, so good right there. All right. So we just need to wait. We'll see how that plays out. If I start seeing rolling down to the downside, I'm gonna be adjusting this for a wedge, or we'll see what that plays out. I've never flag out, never abandoned sheep. Well, we'll see how you do, username, when we do a Mario Kart competition. We absolutely need to do that. I think that'll be a fantastic. We were talking about last time of the N64. I think we need to make a Discord channel. Or you know what? Let's use our Discord channel, Piper Academy. Let's see how could we maybe do some, I don't know, N64 or alike Mario Kart competition. That'd be fantastic. I don't own a Nintendo Switch. But let me know if you have any ideas. That'll be very, very fun. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go in order so we can tackle, if not everything, most of it. Today, it's going to be mostly just a look over what we did in preparing for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Friday might come with some surprises, all right? So then, Solana, all right? Our beautiful Solana in here. All right, so what's going on with Solana? Solana, we just translated that. We had that push over, right? Or push through that megaphone. We were expecting that regression, perfect. And guess what? Remember, on the breakout, we entered, all right? What happened for the next possible setup for Solana? There we go, and we are basically still waiting for that. Looking for that breakout, retest, continuation, possible short, depending on our oscillator, all right? Let's go then to Solana. Where is our possible? There we go, our possible short on depending on our oscillator. So breakout, right? Retest, the retest. Oh, not that one. Come on. Breakout, retest, the retest that we were expecting. In fact, we had a much better retest right in here with a peak performance. Did you enter? Did you re-enter? Please tell me that you did. This is how you build up your... Hey, Pennywise, how is it going, brother? Welcome. Wix Wide Fine 89. Well, how is it going? Thank you for coming back, coming over. Hopefully you're having a great day. All right, so we have a beautiful retest. It played out fantastic, right? We have a peak performance that played out very, very nicely. And well, we are still waiting for that possible target. When are we going to maybe start saying, you know what, let's just take our profits? We already have taken profits, by the way, 50% in. And by the way, stop to entry. All right. So if you haven't, go to it. I'm going to be waiting for you. And in the meantime, while you take some profits, hit that like button, guys. Remember, that always helps us out. All right, so what else do we have in here? We're turning right now. I'm just noticing this. All right, I'm just noticing this. We're turning back bullish at the top. We need to be a little bit careful. Look at that, bullish at the top usually goes for a retracement in a range. That is natural. Why? Because as long as you have enough momentum to break out and enough candles to change or break the previous low or previous high, well, then you turn back bullish and then you retrace. That is part of a range, all right? So that's why we go for trend lines as we break out of that range. In fact, talking about the range, let me add a little bit of a trend line in here, like that, all right? Something, and in fact, I want to go a little bit lower here to try to compensate for this other week, right? I wouldn't mind. There we go. I think that's it. I wouldn't mind to have a half of a week, a little bit over, less than half, and then just getting closer to it. I think that gives me a much better calculation. And then this one looks fantastic. All right. So far, rising wedge. As long as we don't lose the rising wedge. And by the way, this is our opportunity triangle. All right. If we get into this opportunity triangle and we are bullish, or at least we are coming up, all right, like that, and we have some lack of strength and then pump up as we break, that's when we're going to be jumping in here. All right. Ooh, that was a good sneeze. So sorry about that. All right, let's move on. So far, so good. We are on profits. We're waiting. If you haven't jumped in here, I wouldn't advise to take a short, not financial advice, just friendly advice, right? We are pushing very bullish. Yes, I know when we are the most bullish, that's where we look for retracements. But so far, this is a rising wedge. I'd rather see how this is going to be playing out. Remember, right now we are at the median. I don't trade medians unless I do have a strong movement and I'm coming back for a retest. But so far, yeah, double bottom. If I make it past this high, I would be considering just longing this itty bitty part, but that will be a very decent move for me. But so far, that's not good. Let's just go for plan A down here and plan B up there. All right, let me just bring up my second pair of eyes because that make me look smart. In fact, there's no crystal in here, there's no glass. My wife, she just looks at me like, yeah, this guy is crazy. No, there's glass, absolutely, there's glass. Oh, imagine that. By the way, I'm about to, hopefully my sister is looking at me. She used to do that and I caught her just wearing some glasses with no glasses through. So I just remember that calling you out, sister, calling you out. All right. Let's go and take a look at OC. If OC drinking and charting, does he speak in cursive? I speak in cursive, bro. Oh, somebody buried me on rice because I cannot. I'm hearing blurry. So let's continue. Let's check out the next one. Oh, brother, you are a fantastic username. Shout out to you, my friend. I love you. Let's go. We already have talked about, there we go, Solana, with Solana, perfect. And then going to Jupiter. From Jupiter, we change out of chart, right? And we created a megaphone. On that megaphone, we were expecting first a possible fake out, depending on the color of our setup right down here, all right? Let's go first and take a look at that, all right? Oh, Jupiter, perfect. Are we there yet? Not really. In fact, here's a couple of things that none of the options played out, man. None of them. And we took a look at 3 of those options. So this is 1 in a million. I usually try to plan for every possible scenario that I can think of. And this is those ones that, you know, like the market goes and said, hey, you think you know it all? Bam, there you go, man. Take it so you learn it. All right, so nothing that we predicted played out here. It wasn't a bad trade. In fact, I did long a little bit in here. We'll talk about that. But first, let's take a look at what we were expecting. We were expecting maybe a further move to the upside. That did not play out. That's fine. There we go. On the 30 minutes, we had that double top, right? Looking for that bounce. It was bouncing up on a bearish scenario, so a possible retracement back down after a little bit of a movement. There we go. In fact, there it is, the scenario, right? We were expecting that scenario. Did that happen for the second scenario? Yeah, it did. You see that? It did. Second scenario, it did. Then why did I say nothing that we played out? You'll see in a second, because this was not just the full scenario. If we were breaking through, well then, what was the result of this? A next high, right? So grab liquidity, wipe up liquidity, you enter for your trade, and then you expect to break out of that previous range, right? So the actual part in here, right, the important part, didn't actually play it out, but it was cool enough that we planned it for this scenario. Let's take a look at what happened here. Let me zoom into it, all right? There we go. We have our first scenario, right? We have some liquidity here, grab, coming back down. What do we have right here? Support, right? In fact, right there is our support, right? If we turn on our support and resistances, well, we just created, this wasn't there anymore, right? We just created this area right here. We went to almost a dynamic reactor, and guess what we have in here? Peak performance. Perfect. Peak performance at support. It is a guarantee. Well, it's not a guarantee. It is an opportunity to enter, right? Do I enter right away? I actually wasn't that confident. I waited, closing back into the area that I was looking for, confirmation, all right, and then lost of bearish strength because we are blue while pointing up on the bearish trend, right? This is a what? This is a well-known pattern. Remember that? Just like in here, pointing up on the bearish, which we're losing bearishness, and we're losing strength on the bearishness. When we have this cross, it is what? It is a bearish bounce for either a bullish continuation or a range. All right. We talked about this when we created this strategy. In fact, remember that we had our what was that? Let me see, because I have it right here. I don't quite even remember that. Oh man, what was the name of it? Squeeze Momentum Indicator by Lazy Beer. Yeah, I already remember, right? We previously used our Squeeze Momentum Indicator, so I could explain you where that strategy came from, right? And then I also explained you the movement of the ADX. Right on that chapter, we talked about it, we translated to this one. It is basically the same pattern, right? So it doesn't mean that we're going to go to Valhalla, right? But it means that we could be going higher, or we're bouncing up or ranging. We bounce up, but we did not break previous highs, all right? So there we go. A late entry, that's fine. Late entry, taking profits at my previous highs, all right? Let's take a look at what we were expecting here. Come on, start drawing some stuff. There we go, right? And a possible long at the break of structure if we miss on this entry. So it went farther down on this one, on this movement, went up, down, and farther down to our next support zone. You see that? Up, down, into the next support zone. We look for that peak performance diamond. All right, add support. Hey, Papa G, what's up, bro? Welcome, welcome. Nice to have you around, brother. Love it. All right. And then what? Hey, by the way, Papa G, because Piper asked us to look after you, my friend. Jupiter is a meme coin. I like it. I trade it. It's a meme coin. If you're going to jump in, well, then do it with cautious. Low amounts of money. All right. Nothing significant. And low leverage. All right. So just passing the message around, my friend. Trying to take care of your investment. All right. So perfect. We take some profits. Thanks God we did, because look at that. As soon as we were turning bullish, we ranged, turned back bearish, back down to it. Once again, rinse and repeat. Add support, peak performance. You longed it, moved my stop to entry, took me out. Period. I haven't traded since then. All right. So far, let me just clear this up. We are out of this trade so far. Something that looking back in time, something that I do regret, which is like one of those moments that you said, hey, how did I not realize this, right? And this thing happens, guys. This thing happens all the time. So the point is that we already are building up a very nice range, right? It is like I should be already into a hedge, and I'm not. So I'm still bullish. I'm going for what I want to guess a small rally up. All right, I should be shorting, but already has played out. I don't know if I really want to jump in, as I have dynamic rector jumping in or coming up crossing here. And if I'm very exquisite, this is a ramping up support. So technically, I'm having less of an opportunity to make profits. So if I'm seeing that danger and this is a meme coin, let's not play with my capital. I'm not going to try to play with my capital. I might change my decision depending on how this plays out. If this starts going up and I see a breakout, then I see this retest or at least flag out. That's what I change of opinion. All right. So let's go for plan. This is gonna be plan C, all right? So not even plan A, not even plan B, plan C. Flag out possible retest continuation, all right? We have a trend line in here. So that's why we need to be not only patient, but also cautious. So let me unlock this. Let me make it, there we go, more in line. Let me lock it once again. And because I move it, most likely we're gonna have a fake ring somewhere around there. But if not, that's all right. All right, so now this is the 30 minutes. Let's go to the 4 hours. What is the longer term? It's telling us exactly the same. We are in an up range. And right now we're flagging to the right. This is actually good. All right, this is actually good. So if we take a look at here, right, we're not retracing down, which seems like we're making a flat pause of bullish continuation, right? Just like, for example, if I would invert this, right, I would have the same thing coming back down, flat pause of bullish or bearish continuation, and then continuing, right? Let me see if I can find, well, not really. I don't see it in here because this is very flat. So maybe, well, maybe this was it, right? Well, we flat out, maybe a sweep of the lows and then continuation. I think the same thing is happening here. All right, so I'll prepare for that. I'm almost at the top, peak performance for maybe the next opportunity of sweep some lows. And if that happens, I'm gonna be very, very happy. Not only that, I'm gonna start moving my stop, my alert right here, 0.52 if you want to know the exact price. All right, hey, User, what's up? AG, have a great night. AG, good night, my friend. Good night. Alexander G, good night. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with us. Love it, love it. All right, so what else do we have in here? Jupiter preparing for tomorrow. That's what I was telling you. I think tomorrow we might have a couple of surprises. We'll see if it's just another vanilla day, but whatever. I mean, I'm all right with that. A couple of other stuff blowing. Let's go to cryptobubbles.net and well, HBAR, XLM. We already have talked about XLM. Remember, bonk back to -10. Nice, love it. All right, so are we selling 1 to 100? Yes, we are. All right, so maybe what else can we be looking into? I was mentioning at some point that we could maybe look into Cake. Cake is not really a meme coin, but also I don't see a good utility. It is a pancake swap, all right, coin. You can actually trade it. I think will be worth looking at it. CRO's been pumping since it was announced on the same blue chip ETF with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and CRO. Remember that? So getting some of this might be some buy the rumor, sell the news kind of stuff. I'm not sending you to buy anything. This is not financial advice, right? But consider looking into it. Might give you a little bit of a surprise, right? Be prepared. Have a stop loss. I'm not saying anything, not zero, not right now with leverage, no leverage at this point, all right? So let's go and take a look at what else we were into it. And by the way, it was, I believe, next one CRO after Jupiter. All right, Jupiter kind of did its own thing, and CRO. All right, so let's go back in here. What's up with CRO? Let's just give it a second. And here it is. Oh, come on, this is Pengu. CRO. All right, this is where we left out. Let's take a look at CRO. We went downwards, all right? And let's take a look at where we left out, because look at my entry. It's not exactly the same. And it's a very small entry. I'll show you how that played out. Excellent, by the way, hitting some alerts. Coming back down, we were already in profits, right? What do we do when we are in profits? We move our stop to entry, right? When we have one full candle, body, and wick in the green, all right? And we were aiming a little bit lower for then a bounce up, right? As you can see, we were maybe sticking for a peak performance diamond right there, all right? What happened with CRO? Come on. Well, whatever. This is the same. I'll change it in a second, just so we can follow up. What happened? First body weak, body, fierce candle, body and wick in the green. All right, move my stop to entry, and then right away, boom, to the other side. All right, whatever. We did not get stopped out. Remember, our stop was already at profits or at entry. Did we make some money? Not really. That was cents. But most importantly, did we lost some money? Not at all. Hey, Trade Intuition in the house. Shout out to Trade Intuition. What's up, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Great to see you. All right, something important with zero, it is that we are right now breaking back inside that range. This is acceptance back into the range. So I think it is very possible that we hit this area, even something like that. So are we gonna be buying here? Not quite there yet until I have a goose head, a little reversal, looking like a goose head, right? A little reversal or a flag out. Unless I see something like that, that's when I will be able to jump back in. Where could I have jumped in? Right here as we're coming back into the green cloud. Somewhere around here, but I have my resistance. So for me, that was a hold on, wait, and let's better go check out other coins that are more reliable. All right, let's clear this up then. Let's change it. And let's go to CRO. Just so we keep track in here. Perfect. All right, you see how that played out? This is the actual, this is where we left out. First candle in the green, both, what is it, body and wick. What we do there, we move our stop to entry. Immediately the thing gets and stops us out. Perfect, that's fine. Thanks God we did our due diligence, right? So let's just clear this up. We're just going kind of like a parabolic. In fact, there we go. We kind of have, or we absolutely have, a megaphone right there. Targets, let's bring up predictive target, predictive ranges, and support and resistance. We're not that far away from that TP number 4 at 0.123. That's fine. Next flag out, next retracement, I'll jump back in. So it is going nowhere. Perfect. On Ethereum, Piper was mentioning, hey guys, you should be looking at not shorting Ethereum at that point. And what we did, we longed it. Perfect. That played out fantastic. On the 30 minutes, went back down. We move our stop up to, oh, come on. We move our stop to entry as soon as we have our first candle, body and wick in the green. And then what we do, TP1, TP2, that's it, coming back down. So far, that's it. All right, let's clear this up, and we have a new pattern. What pattern do we have? The same up range, the same wedge that we're pointing up to the upside, right? Trading fees, yeah, I'm up to 350 if you don't count the trading fees. Holy shit, yeah, I mean, trading fees. The bigger your leverage, the more fees, just in case you guys were wondering. So be careful with that leverage. All right, let's continue. I want to take a look at Dutch, TAO, and Turbo. Let's get started from top down. Turbo, meme coin, curated by AI. We're having, look at that, 30 minutes, we're flagging out. This at the 4 hour looks fantastic, by the way. Something I don't quite like, but still makes sense. It is this trend line. Look at that. Yeah, oh, from the top it misses this ones. I rather would like to consider something like this. And let's do that just for the sake of my sanity. All right. So there we go. We have a flagging here. If we go to the 4 hours, we're gonna see it. There we go, a pennant, right? That pennant, it's at the edge of breaking. So what are we gonna be doing here? We're gonna be buffering here. What kind of buffer? Just our trend lines, just a little bit in here. Let's compensate this one right there. There we go. And I'm gonna right click, of course, lock it and create an alert. And the same thing I'm going to be doing here. In fact, I'm going to buffer it a little bit to the upside. There we go. Right click, lock it. Again, right click and create on work. Perfect. That's it. Losing strength on the bearishness. Up. Are we gonna make it? Hopefully we do. I think we could. So where do we enter? There's no peak performance. There's not going to be a peak performance here. Look at the size of it. It's like this one. All right. I'm not expecting a peak performance. What I'm expecting is to see a confirmation on this flip, which has already happened. All right. And going over and having a reversal diamond. This reversal diamond could be very small, like this one, right? And then do whatever it wants to do. I don't know. Could transform into a Bar Simpson, could become a range, right? So far, this is what we got. So let's go for a long right here. This is front running the thing, all right? In fact, let me snip this up because I need to push my trades to the Piper Academy. So guys, if you're not following us on the Piper Academy, hey Jesse, what's up, brother? So please do. Remember, it's only a just YouTube subscription, and then you get access to the Piper plan. You get access to JSR's calls, to my calls, to trade crypto trades calls, to who else? Who am I missing? Bucks calls, right? So just give it a try. If you don't like it, you can always not renew if that's something that you want to do. All right, so let's go to the Piper Academy and let's post it in here. Let's do the warning. This is a front running trade. Be careful and do a 1/2 entry, please. Let me just change the spelling. There we go, and post it. All right, so that's what we're looking here. Hopefully this plays out as we're intending or we're expecting. And man, this looks juicy, to be honest. This looks juicy. All right, so we talked about Turbo. Now let's take a look at TAO. Right, TAO, it's back on the support zone, and yes, we're going low. At this point, we're turning bearish. This is interesting, and this is dangerous. I would love to make it long right now, all right? But, and that is actually part of our setup, making a long in here. But we just turned bearish, man. I mean, and we have no strength of the bearishness. All right, great, but as soon as, I mean, I'm expecting something like this. I'm expecting something like that. But what if, like, what if we just get, the thing doing this, right? And I'm talking about the ADX, right? And then we just get the big candle where we have meaningful lows. Let's take a look at our indicators, shall we? So far, engulfing candles right here, all right? Perfect. Nothing right down below here. Supports, right? Supporting here. All right, perfect. Let's call for a possible long at my support so far. Let's see. Let's combine those supports. If I really want to long in here, but look at this. This area looks very nice. I don't know, man. This is not looking good. Not looking good in the sense that, you know what? I'm not sure of this play. Are we going to keep going downwards? This looks like you want to go up. But if we want to go up, we have two resistances, and also we have a liquidity zone up there. So could this be a lower high then? Most likely. So what am I going to be doing? I'm going to keep an eye on this. I thought like by right now, we would have at least one more candle. I miscalculate that. But you know what? We need more candles, right? What do we do when we need more candles? When we need more candles, we go lower. Let's go to the 30 minutes. Let's see what the 30 minutes is telling me. All right, so we have a range. Last time we have that kind of range, we went back up. Coming down, range. Can we go back up? I don't know. We're still bearish. And yes, we're losing some momentum, so we should be going to the top part of that range. So again, I just need more information. What kind of information? Well, a breakout. Breakout to where? A considerable breakout from this range. So, all right, I'm not going to be trading this one. I want to, though. And I'm feeling, but we don't trade on feelings. I'm feeling like when I want to do it long. All right. Let's go and let's take advantage of something that Alex or Crypto teaches, which is let's do a fake trade, right? Let's just put it to proof what our feeling, just to itch out that part. T.I. Joe, bingo bango, absolutely. What's up, bro? Jesse, double shout out, bro. All right, so let's go for right there, stop loss, like here. You know what? Nah, not really. Not worth it. Not worth it. I'm giving a second thought, man. Let's see. Let's bring up a couple of other stuff, all right? I want to give it a second thought in here. All right, we are below. We have a bullish divergence. We are having a goose head, but we're in the red. We're not that bullish, but we're on support. So everything is kind of like equalizing. All right, we already have to take a look at that one. Let me see here on my prime oscillator. Oh, Jupiter. We'll take a look at Jupiter in a second. A little bit of more of the same, but what I'm interested is on the money flow. Money flow is not there. It's just flat. Am I pointing up? Do I have bright? Yes, I did had bright true 7. But other than that, not much. So let's just leave this as is, and let me set a set of alerts at the top and at the bottom. And on the breakout, I'll come back and trade this. All right, so let's just get rid of that. And let's pair our lines in here. All right, and let's just set, okay, long position in here. Short position for the breakout retest. And there we go. We're going to be looking for breakout retest. Caliphant in the house. How's it going, Caliphant? How's it going? Thank you for spending your time in here. What is the name of the website you are currently on? TradingView? No, I think this one is cryptobubbles.net. Let me copy it. I think this is the one that you were asking. I believe so. Maybe. Here it is. All right, so what else? Where are we? So we are supposed to be in TAO. All right, so from TAO, then I also wanted to look at, well, grass is actually kind of calling my attention. My pleasure, brother, my pleasure. But Solana SPS CRO, we already have taken a look at the CRO. Jupiter XLM, perfect. ADA EOS, the Filecoin, yeah, very, very good one, by the way. Very, very good one, by the way. Still in process. If you haven't, well, then remember, take your profits. So nothing to say that. By the way, we can now do a trend line, all right? We have 1, 2. TP, head switch. All right, so maybe if we have, well, we already have this. You know what? Can we? Yeah, why not? TP, let's go for that TP. All right. I am gonna be taking profits, right? So it is. Oh, is it showing? Yeah, it's showing. Oh shit. All right. Let's push that out of that screen. So I need to push my credentials. All right. And all right. Why is it so slow, man? All right. In the meantime, the thing loads. So I need to take some profits. So taking profits, by the way. And let's go for the secondary, a possible long breakout retest, just in case. Posting in the Private Academy too. And why is it the damn thing not loading? Okay, I got it. Yeah, all right. Confirmation here. And then my passkey. Yep. And come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. All right, passkey set up. And all right, we are up and running. Perfect. All right, got it. Sorry for that. I need to take some profits. All right, let's go and take a look at something else. Grass. All right, grass is calling my attention. It's not that it's looking that great, but it actually has some hidden gems. Look at that. Bullish divergence. I've been looking at this for the whole freaking day, brother. So look at this trend line. We have sweep of the lows. Nice. Possibly inverted head and shoulders. Cricket. It's not cricket as I would like to. Right? What am I waiting for here? Something in here is not matching, right? Which is money flow. Money flow. I need money flow to start going higher. It's just not there yet. Most likely, when I see that money flow, we're going to be trading either the breakout or the retest. Since we're very low on money flow, because, I mean, yes, we can go even lower, but look at that. We're almost at the previous lows. Again, yes, we can go lower, right? Grass another meme coin, by the way. And where's my grass? Here's my grass. All right. We almost have it all. Breakout, dynamic reactor, retest, previous lows. Do we have some support somewhere around there? Oh, yeah. Some support, some resistance. Perfect. What else do we have in here? Do we have... Oh, all right. It's spiking here at the center. So we're fighting on this area. Perfect. That's fine. What else do we have? Resistance. All right, so it's gonna be a bounce down. Perfect. All right, so I think I'm gonna be going for a long in here as we are breaking through our zero line to the upside. So grass looking good. All right, it's not that it's looking good right now. Seems like it's making a good pattern. If we're making a good pattern, we might have a good breakout. If we have a good breakout, well, then we can take advantage of that. Let's paste it in here. Let's go. All right. What else do we have? Let's see. I don't really want to overtrade now. Let's do maybe virtuals. Let's do beam. I think I already have blowout, right? No, it was H bar. Oh, dude, H bar. I wanted to do H bar, but it's too late already. Let's go for, I don't know. Why not? Let's do virtuals. All right, virtuals. It is having the same pattern of Bitcoin. That's the only thing that I like. All right, we have our coming up first hump. 30 minutes. If we go to 4 hours, it's almost mimicking it. man, not 4 hours, sorry, 1 hour. It's almost mimicking it, right? First hump, secondary hump. Now what we need to do is create. So going back down, possible entry. Let's bring out our soup. Is this? No, this is not, man. Sometimes I just tease myself. Alert. Now let's also do a horizontal line. Possible long. Previous lows. Give yourself a wiggle room. Do we have some support? Yes, double support. I want to protect myself. I'm gonna be looking for flip of the ribbon and maybe if I can peak performance time. Perfect. That will be for virtuals. Let's also copy this and paste it in Discord. Guys, again, I know I'm pushing longs at this point, right? Longs are always less dangerous than shorts, right? Still, remember that we're looking for confirmation before we jump in. In fact, let's do that. Let's do this as a title. Remember to use confirmation before taking these trades. Perfect. All right. So far, that's it. I don't want to overtrade. I think that will be it for tomorrow. Tomorrow, let's just bring up crypto bubbles. We'll see how what is moving, what could be moving further, and prepare for maybe some shorts in the market. Looking at HBAR for a possible short, looking at XRP for a possible short, looking at Algo for a possible short, looking at Bonk for a possible bounce up, right? And this is just looking at the bubbles. Remember, if it's already going up, why don't we trade the whiplash? Why don't we trade the retracement? Why don't we trade, like the pushback on it? So far, I think that's what I got, guys. Let's go. Tomorrow it's going to be Friday. Hopefully you guys are already planning your Friday and Saturday night. That'll be fantastic. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.